Hey everyone, welcome to Talk and Care. I'm Nancy Gregory, and today we're tackling a big question. How many hours of care do you or a loved one really need? With me is Christina Keys, founder of Keys for Caregiving, who's been on both sides of the caregiving journey and now helps families nationwide. Christina, we're so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for asking me to be here. I'm very grateful.
So, Christina, let's start with the big question. When families are trying to figure out how much care they need, where do they even begin?
Well, they want to take a look at what's happening with their loved one. How has things changed for them in their daily life with the loved one? Are they having more memory problems? Are they having more problems doing their daily tasks? Are they having more problems, communicating what their needs are, or staying on schedule with some of the basic things like their medications, their eatings, those things like that. And then you want to reach out to some of the home care agencies and ask, what does care look like? Many caregivers I found think that when a doctor or somebody says your loved one needs care, they think it has to be 24-hour care. It does not
Right.
be 24-hour care. So I would say, I would encourage people to start calling a few of the agencies and see what care looks like, what the hours are looking like, and if they can have somebody come out and talk to them.
So, that initial interview and assessment is really important.
Oh, absolutely. And what's great about that too is family caregivers, we only know what we know. And none of us family caregivers, I've never met one family caregiver who's gone through formal training. So when these
Exactly.
folks from the agencies come out and do that consultation with you, a free consultation, an assessment, it's actually pretty educational, the things that you learn about what an agency can do for you, how they can help you, and how it will benefit your loved one as well.
So, breaking it down into smaller pieces is key.
Right. Yes, absolutely. They're going to talk about, what are the cognitive challenges, right? What are the physical challenges, right? What are the social challenges? They're going to break it into those areas there so they can provide the best care possible. And they're also going to look at, what is your loved one's personality? If your loved one's
Right.
personality is really bubbly, lots of energy, they're not going to match you with somebody who is just like very quiet and never talks, right? So that's really important as well.
And for the number of hours, I guess, is there sort of a trial period where you can test on how many hours is needed per day or different times of the day?
Many agencies will let you start small and then ramp up. Agencies usually have a 2, 3, or 4 hour minimum. And also that's respectful to the caregiver too. You wouldn't want to go somewhere for just an hour, right? So you want to ask what their minimum is. So,
Right. I would imagine they've seen enough situations that they know what typically works.
right, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are some of the signs that might tell a family they need to adjust the either hours either up or down?
Some of the signs for me when I was caring for my mom was, her memory started getting a little bit worse,
Mhm.
right? Her daily schedule started getting a little bit tougher for her to stay on track, like when she took her meds, when she ate, those type of things. It started getting a little bit tougher for her mobility. It was a little tougher for her to transfer from the bed to the wheelchair, a little bit tougher for her to do simple things like get something she microwaved out of the microwave and put it on the counter. These are small signs that you want to take note of because they tend to add up quickly. And so
Yes.
that you want to adjust those and you want to look at when those things are happening. I went from 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night to 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours at night because I was noticing those changes. And it made a world of difference, not only in my mom's life, but my life because I wasn't worried as much
Yeah.
during I felt very comfortable with that professional caregiver from the agency was there.
And that worry is huge, and
Yeah,
wanting to be able to keep them safe. I
right.
think I remember, when I'm dealing with my parents, advocating for my parents, it's like, it may not seem like they need a lot of care, but you worry about their safety when they're alone, when they start declining with dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It sounds like it's a lot about paying attention and being honest about what's working and what's not working.
Right. And one of the other things too is while those professional caregivers are there, they can be your eyes and ears, right? Some things might be normal to us, or we might be going so fast trying to manage our own life and the family caregiver life that we might not notice some of those cognitive changes, some of the mobility changes, or some of the daily habit changes. So those caregivers, if they're, taking note of that and they're letting us know, they can be the eyes and the ears that we need, not only to adjust for care, but when we go to doctor's appointments, we can talk about how the baseline has changed. So they're very, very important in that care journey. They definitely enhance being able to be a better caregiver. So
What are some of the tips you would give people who are just starting out on this journey?
just starting out in this journey, first I want to say you don't, when a doctor or somebody says you need care for your loved one, that does not necessarily mean 24-hour care, right? And what I would say is start calling some of the agencies in your area, find out what their minimums are, see which of the pick three that you'd like to talk to, and get some recommendations from some friends or doctors or people that you know in the area, and have them come out and do a consultation. Find out how that works for you. Your loved one is going to be resistant to care at first.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it's okay if it starts out small with the hours and builds up. And here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're a family caregiver and you're new, it is scary to
Yeah.
let go for a second. It's scary to let go and let somebody else be there for your loved one. But I can tell you that it was really scary. I can't tell you how many times I cried in my car at first when there was change in that caregiving, but it always worked out to be such a blessing, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
part of the uncomfortableness is part of it. But I can guarantee that you're going to feel good afterwards, and you're going to see a difference in your loved one and how they treat you and how happy they are and
Yeah.
how they're able to, you're able to just feel safe.
Yes. You feel safe for them, but then there's also that self-care for the caregiver that you're able to
Right.
take care of yourself more.
For sure. Absolutely. It was a game changer for me. I
Yeah.
mean, we talk about self-care all the time when we're caregivers, and, we think it's beaches and reading books and all this other stuff, but sometimes it's just as simple as, hiring a professional caregiver, because it's a whole different experience for a professional caregiver to take out the trash than it is for you. Right.
Right.
It's simple things. So yeah, it's a way to give to your loved one, and it's a way to give to you as well.
I wanted to get back to the figuring out the hours. Can you share a story from your own experience where getting the hours right really made a difference?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, we started out with 2 hours for my mom,
Mhm.
and 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. And what happened was, the caregivers did what they were supposed to do. They let me know, any of the changes that were happening. I noticed that some of the changes when I was there. So based on their information and my information, I was able to adjust that. And it made a world of difference in, how I didn't have to worry about mom's safety during those. We
Right.
bumped it up to 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours at night. And it made a world of difference. And it was the 4 hours like that she was the busiest active, as she was
Yeah.
eating, she was, changing, she was doing all these things. And same thing at night. In the middle, it was when she was relaxing and things that she didn't need a lot of help with. So it helped me to adjust that. And it was a game changer for me and for mom. So
I think that's such a powerful example, especially that break in between, because I know that autonomy is so important,
right,
as much as they are able to have the safe.
right.
Yeah, yeah. I think it really shows too that we don't have to have all the answers right away. We can adjust as we learn.
Yeah, no, we do not have to have all the answers. We're not going to have all the answers as family caregivers, but I can tell you if you're a family caregiver, you're doing a great job, even though you feel like you might not be doing a great job. You're doing a great job with the information you have. And again, that's why it's so important to be able to tap into professionals like the home care agencies and the professional caregivers. And I actually learned a lot from the professional caregivers who came here. So, I mean, even just sometimes the way they communicated with my mom, I mean, I learned a lot from them. So,
Yes. Yeah. They're great teachers as well.
right.
Yeah. Christina, thank you so much for being here. This has been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me today.
And thanks for all of you for tuning in. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe and share. It really helps us reach more families who need support. Join us next time on Talk and Care.